right, guys, welcome to a brand new episode of SideQuest Podcast. Listen in and level up. I have a great episode for you today, but first, as always, let's get through the show notes. If you're not following the Facebook page, head over to Facebook, type SideQuest Fitness into the search bar, and like the page. There, you're going to get updates on podcast episodes, articles when they get posted, and you're going to get a brand new taco recipe every Tuesday for taco camp. Plus lots of other shenanigans and nerd talk throughout the week, so make sure you head over to Facebook. You can follow me on Instagram. My handle is SideQuestFM. If you want to see some cool videos and random stuff on Instagram as well, you can follow me on Instagram. Same handle, SideQuestFM. Or follow me on Snapchat, SideQuestFit. Follow me there. Send me your questions. I want to get all the questions from you, help you as much as I can on your fitness journey or your journey in life, whatever it may be. But head over to Snapchat, SideQuestFit. Follow me there. You get a little more personal, in-depth look at the shenanigans I get into throughout every day. But I do love getting questions from the community, so please send them out to me. If you have not left a review for the podcast, please head over to iTunes. If you're not listening on iTunes and you listen on SoundCloud or Stitcher, leave a review there as well. When you leave reviews, it helps me move up the charts on the iTunes store so that more people can see and hear the amazing guests that I've had on and have on each and every single week. So make sure you head over there. And don't forget, if you haven't picked up your copy of the 7 Principles of Fat Loss, head over to sidequestfitness.com/7 principles, and you can pick up your copy of the 7 Principles of Fat Loss. These are the same 7 principles I follow each and every day and teach my clients to help them shred away more body fat, unlock heroic strength, and just look better naked. So if you want to unlock strength or just look better naked in the mirror, head over again, grab those 7 principles of fat loss, and start following those today. All right, guys, I have a great episode for you today. We're going to talk a little about cliches. The English language is full of them. I'm sure every culture has their own, but since English is my primary language, I know the ones we have, but you hear them all the time. Your grandparents probably said them just you wanted to be sick. You were just like, I'm tired of hearing you say that, Grandpa. You probably get tired of hearing people mention it on news broadcasts or wherever else, but they're cliches. They're tired, they're boring. But here's the thing. There's some truth in those cliches. There's a reason why they were created. We're going to explore some of that. Some of these will be a little, if you're a fitness person, you've probably heard of some of them. You might be a little taken aback by my stance on them. If you are someone, looking to better your life in some way, whether it's starting your own business, whether it's getting the balls up to ask out that girl or that guy, or just, you're stuck. I think some of these cliches, you're going to feel a little pain from these truths, but there are truths behind these cliches, and it's why we say them all the time. So let's get into the show and discover a little bit of the nuggets of truth within these cliches.
Step up and you gotta get it fitness. Host Rob at the moment and the quest is you gotta check it and wreck it. You're breaking personal records, and with the help of the guests you won't be guessing on the lessons. That's a +5 fierce. Got a low-key bamf right here. You wanna meet them, there's no better way to greet them than to strike a boss pose. Take a look into the mirror.
You've heard them countless times in your life. You're probably honestly sick of hearing them, and every time you hear them, it makes you just want to punch a wall. Talking about cliches. Cliches like, keep it simple, stupid. Rolling stone gathers no moss. Oh, let's see here. What are some other ones? Trust the process, garbage in, garbage out. Jack Kerouac once said, all cliches are truisms, and all truisms are true. Now, for a quick definition, a truism is a statement that is obviously true and says nothing new or interesting. So a truism is you get what you pay for. Also, a little bit of a cliche. Look before you leap is a truism that Sharon has rarely heeded. Someone who tends to jump before they do something. That's the definition brought to you by Google. So that's what a truism is. Now, just to give you a definition of a cliche is a phrase or opinion that is overused and betrays the lack of original thought. So, one man's meat is another man's poison. One man's garbage is another man's treasure. You've heard all of those things, just repeated throughout time. And we're going to go over today a few of them that you've probably heard, but how they actually do have some truth behind them. First one I want to start with is garbage in, garbage out. God, I can't tell you how many times I heard my grandfather or my dad or my mom say this, and it was annoying. It was annoying. But there's kind of some truth to that. So let's think about it in a nutrition standpoint. We all know that eating less processed foods is better for you. We all know that. We all know that eating a whole diet, full of wholesome foods and whole foods is better for us in the long run. But over the last couple of years, some proponents of if it fits your macros have really, really pushed, I can eat Pop-Tarts every day. I can eat ice cream every day. I can do this. I can do that. True, you can if you fit it into your macros. Yeah. But funny enough, the people who tend to do less of that tend to look a lot better. In the show notes for this, sidequestfitness.com/cliche, I will have a link to an article my boy Tanner Bays wrote about why eating clean actually helps you look better, and those who tend to eat cleaner, per se, have better looking physiques. Because garbage in, garbage out. Let's think about it in the terms of the people you hang around. You are the product or the summation of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you're around nothing but negative people who complain and moan and bitch about every single thing, well, it shouldn't be a surprise to you that you do the same thing. If you're around people who are positive, who are go-getters, who are hustlers, who are looking to make a change, you might be more like them. Garbage in, garbage out. Works in philosophy, works in life, works in everything. So there is some truth to that. I mean, yeah, it sucks, and you're like, all right, Dad, I get it. You don't like my friends. Fine. A few years later, maybe you kind of realize, all right, Tommy was kind of an asshole. Dad may have been right. We've all had friends like that. We've all done some things in our life that, through peer pressure or whatever, we had some garbage come in, we let some garbage out. So let's go on to another one. This is one that upsets the little people in the fitness industry sometimes. It's a cliche, and yes, there's so much more to it than this, but it's still kind of true. Eat less, move more. For a while, that's what everyone was touting. They weren't talking about how protein can help you in burning fat. They weren't talking about, fats and carbs. They were just saying, eat less, move more. Okay, eat less, move more. Simplistically, it makes a lot of sense. But then you're left, well, eat less of what? Move more of what? So I should run? So I should lift? I should walk? I should twirl and do dance classes? I should eat less red meat? Eat less veggies? No, I should eat more veggies. No, I should eat less processed foods? I should eat less or drink less soda? Creates a whole lot of questions. But there's still some truth to that. Because if you're trying to burn body fat, if you're trying to lose, weight, you have to eat less. You have to be in a caloric deficit. If your body burns 2,000 calories a day and you consume 2,300 calories a day, you're not going to burn fat. Your body's going to store that extra energy. Now, moving more, for most people, look, we live in a world that is fairly sedentary. We live in a world that is struggling with an obesity epidemic. Moving more, in whatever capacity that is a good thing. Whether that's lifting weights, whether that's walking, like how many people got into shape or lost some weight this summer playing Pokemon Go? Awesome. Kudos to you if you did that. You were moving more. You were walking. Your legs were moving. Your arms were moving. You were probably flailing a little bit because you didn't catch that Abra that you were trying to catch for like 30 minutes and it just really irritated you. Abra. So you like moved your hands and your muscles are moving, but you're getting out. You're moving more. Moving more could be walking on a treadmill. It could be body weight exercises. It could be lifting weights. It could be running. It could be skiing. It could be dancing. It could be pole dancing like one of my former guests, Roz the Diva. She does pole. And she's a lot stronger than me because I guarantee you holding myself up on a pole would be really hard. Eat less, move more. It's pretty simple. It makes sense. It's a cliche, and there's some truth to it, but there's still a little bit more to it than that. But simplistically, yes, the idea to lose weight, to get rid of unwanted body fat, you've got to eat less, and you got to move more. Whether that's lifting weights, whether that's running, whether it's a combination of all of it, cool. But sitting on the couch and playing video games all day and drinking Mountain Dew, that's not going to cure and get rid of the fat around your belly. Trust the process. Now, this was given to me by my good friend Adam Ali, because I asked a couple friends for some cliches. Trust the process. You know, there is a lot of truth to that, and I think that's one of the biggest things that fitness coaches are really preaching out is consistency. We all see the before and afters. We see how clients or friends look, 3 months ago and how they look now, and it's amazing. It's blown us away. And we want that. We want it in an instant. We don't want to wait 3 months. There's got to be a quicker way to get it. We want to outdo them. We want to show them that we can be better than them. And we don't trust the process. Whether it's establishing a business, whether it's getting your dream off the ground, whether it's losing weight, there's a process you got to go through, and you just have to trust it. Put in the work, be patient, do the things that the process requires, and you'll get there. Same thing as a video game. Look at Skyrim. You wanted to go out and you wanted to find Parthenax and you wanted to conquer and you wanted to win. You wanted to defeat everything. But you had to level up. You had to go on quest. You had to do this. You had to do that. The game gave you the process. The goal was ultimately to save Skyrim and defeat the dragons. Fine. But the process to get there involved a lot of fighting, a lot of battling, a lot of questing, leveling up, getting more armor, getting better weapons. That was the process. Learning all it was within the game. And that's the process when it comes to fitness, when it comes to anything. Trust the little steps. All the small steps. If you consistently make small steps, you'll be so much further than someone who's trying to make one giant leap. In that same frame, keep it simple, stupid. The KISS protocol. You hear it all the time. You know, there's a ton of rock and roll music. There's a ton of country music that only uses 3 chords. A lot of the greatest songs that you sing along to are written in G, C, and D. That's it. 3 chords, played in different tempos, played in different ways, strummed, 1,200 different ways. You can create amazing songs from those 3 chords. When it comes to getting fit in the gym, look, it's all about keeping it simple. The basics are all you need. I know we see all these cool videos and we see all these cool exercises, and CrossFit got really popular and everyone was like, yeah, I got to do that. Look, you got to master the basics before you can get there. You can't just roll up on Lambeau Field and be like, I'm going to play football because I played Madden for 12 weeks. That's not how it works. Keep it simple, stupid. Focus on the 5 exercises. Squat, some sort of press, an overhead press or a bench press, some sort of rowing motion, weighted carries, some sort of hip hinge, and then, of course, some core work as well. Strengthening the core, anti-rotation, core movements are perfect. All you got to do is focus on those things. That's it. If you've ever done starting strength, it literally focuses on 4 exercises: squat, bench, overhead press, row, and deadlift. Okay, so 5, but still. It starts on those. That's it. That's all it is. There's no curls, there's no chin-ups, there's no none of that. It's just those movements. That's it. That's all it focuses on. Keep it simple. That's that's how you keep it going. And everyone gets so uptight, with nutrition as well. Keep it simple. Plenty of lean proteins, plenty of green veggies, and a handful of carbs at each meal and a thumbful of fats. You're good to go. Keep it simple. Stop trying to be flashy. Stop trying to outdo everything. Keep it simple. Now, this one is going to apply a little bit more towards life. A rolling stone gathers no moss. Probably heard that cliche a million times in my life. Now, this is an old proverb that is credited to a Latin writer called Cyrus. Now, the great thing about a rolling stone gathers no moss is some people believe that it's, about nomads, who take no responsibility or cultivation or advance their knowledge, experience, or culture. They just wander through the world experiencing it as they go. Could make sense. Understandable. But really, I think the moss is, as some others believe, stagnation. Because if you keep moving, if you keep pressing forward and keep moving for new ideas and creativity, you'll never be stagnant in life. There's a couple sayings that sort of tie into this. If you're not moving forward, you're moving backwards. If you're not advancing, you're dying. But let me go a little geek here, and if you've seen Luke Cage on Netflix, you've heard this. Always move forward. Always forward. That's what Pop told Luke. And it's the truth. You can't get better at life if you just stay in one place. Constantly striving to get better will lead to new levels of experience, will lead to new gains, knowledge, fitness, business, spiritual, whatever. Always keep moving. Be a rolling stone that rolls and moves. Don't sit and wait for the moss to grow up on you and stagnate you and leave you where you are. That's the truth behind it. Rolling stone gathers no moss. It's not about an actual stone, and it's not about like nomadic herders moving throughout the world or even now digital nomads. It's about bettering yourself. Always be moving. Always be shooting for something. Because if you're not moving forward, you're moving backwards. All right, guys, on to the next one. Now, this is from an article that I found while doing some research, trying to find some more cliches that I didn't already have up in my old noggin. And I will have this linked as well in the show notes, sidequestfitness.com/cliche. And it's 10 common cliches, an article written back in 2013, actually damn near 3 years ago, called 10 Common Cliches and the Powerful Truths They Hold. So I want to go over a couple. Number 1, up at the top, actions speak louder than words. I can tell you right now, there is nothing truer than that. So many people sit around and say, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, I want to do that, I wish I could, I wish I could. Fucking do it. Like, that's the it. Like, I will pull in some Gary Vee right now, but I had the idea of doing this podcast. You know what I did? I did it. I didn't have the best equipment for a year. I did it. I just went and did it. If you want to get in shape, just do it. If you want to lose weight, just do it. Do the things that you got to do. Be people of action. Be a man of action. Be a woman of action. I can tell you, especially when it comes to being married, that is the number one thing. Don't just say you're going to do something. Fucking do it. Show people that you can do it. Take action. Yes, it takes a lot of strength sometimes, but it's far easier to say, well, I wish I had done this or I wish I had done that. Look, if you're going to talk the talk, walk the walk. The grass is always greener on the other side. Oh, you hear that everywhere. But this article makes a great point that sometimes we kind of forget that the grass we are already in is green. And I know I just mentioned being a rolling stone. And yeah, you can roll and you can collect no moss. But I think what this saying is really saying, the truth behind this is be grateful. Have gratitude for where you are. It doesn't mean that you can't move forward. It doesn't mean you got to stay where you are. But be grateful for the field that you're in, for the grass that you're in, and be like, it is actually pretty nice here. I have to remind myself this all the time. All the time. It's you see people more successful than you. Even if you're just starting to get into the gym, you see other people and who you feel are in better shape and you want to look like. You can be there someday. But be happy with where you are. Because where you are might be where thousands of other people want to be. All right, the last one. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. It's pretty true. I wrote an article a couple months ago about why my father was Darth Vader. Again, you can find that in the show notes. But I realized a long time ago I didn't want to be my father, but found myself becoming my father. But I realized I was the one left with the choice. I had the power. And I could become him if I chose to continue with those choices I was making, or I could make different choices. Our parents are the first example we have of what a human being, a person is. The way our parents interact even shapes the relationships that we have later in our life. It's something I have to work through every single day with my wife. Because I know that no matter what, I could say something that would sound like my father saying something to my mother. And that's not the person I want to be. Their problems, my mom's, my dad's, they were their problems. They're not mine. And if I don't choose to bring those problems into my marriage or into my life or in my other friendships, then I can create my own identity in who I am. I don't have to be the past. I don't have to be that apple that fell from the tree. I can be a bird that flies from that tree. Not that I'm saying birds and apples, whatever. Point is, you don't have to stay close to that tree. You can make a different choice. Recognize the things. Start to think about those moments that you have that maybe you're like, I remember this is how my dad acted or my mom acted, and this is not really how I want to be. Take notice of those and start to make small changes with them and see if maybe you are the apple that falls a lot further from the tree. I want to go over, I said that was the last one, but just a couple quick other ones in this article. It's a great article. Can't judge a book by its cover. Yep, kind of true. You never know what's inside the book, but you also can't judge someone who's covered in tattoos. They could be the nicest guy in the world. You can't judge an awkward ginger kid because he just looks weird. He might actually be a really cool guy. Just saying. You can't please everyone. Look, that's the truth of life. You can't. You really can't. The end. But the last one I really want to focus on is this one. You've heard it a million times. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Yep. Some pop song is going off in my head right now. Kelly Clarkson, I think. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Whatever. But it's the truth. In the gym, you know what? Maybe that last rep, maybe that last set was really tough. But it didn't kill you. It's going to make you stronger. That breakup that you went through where you thought you would never, ever, ever be able to get over that person, you did. And you made it through. We've all had horrible times in our life, and it's all made us stronger. We've all learned things about ourselves. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Cliche, but it's true. As long as you look for the strength, as long as you attack those things and really try to make yourself stronger from that moment. Of course, there are other ones on this list, like better safe than sorry. There's no time like the present. That's right. When was the best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago. When's the best time to plant a tree? Right now. Tie that in to actions speak louder than words. So whatever you want to do, do it. There's nothing better than doing it right now. Start it right now. click off this podcast and start whatever you're trying to start in life. And also, ignorance is bliss is listed on here as well. Again, I'll have this in the show notes. But we hear these cliches all the time, and as annoying as they can be when our grandparents tell them to us, or as annoying as they can be when someone else says them, there's some truth behind them. All right, guys, get out there, have fun, and kick ass at life.
Step up and you gotta get it fitness. Host Rob at the moment and the quest is you gotta check it and wreck it. You're breaking personal records, and with the help of the guests, you won't be guessing on the lessons. That's a +5 fierce. Got a low-key band right here. You wanna meet them, there's no better way to greet them than to strike a boss pose. Take a look into the mirror.